You wake before the sun to a glow in your hand, a blue moon lighting the room. Your thumb keeps flicking up. Another headline, another opinion, another stranger winning at life before breakfast. The coffee on the nightstand smells a little burnt. The cat paws at the door. You glance at the time and feel that pulse of panic. There's too much to care about and not enough of you to go around. So you try harder, open another tab, answer another message, promise another yes. You chase approval, productivity, and the feeling that you're finally caught up. But the chase only multiplies the noise. What if the problem isn't your discipline, or your apps, or your morning routine? What if the problem is that you are trying to care about everything at once? This is an invitation to a quieter kind of courage. The courage to care far less about most things and far more about a chosen few. That is where calm begins and where a stronger life takes root. Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F landed like a cold shower in a culture drunk on inspirational syrup. He writes in plain language and says the quiet part out loud. Life is hard. Problems don't go away. You are not promised a special lane through traffic. Yet right where the discomfort lives, there's a path to something honest. Released in the mid-2010s while social feeds were booming and everyone seemed to be building a brand out of breakfast, the book became shorthand for tough love. Not because it teaches apathy, but because it exposes the cost of caring indiscriminately. Manson invites us to stop measuring our lives by attention and status, and to start measuring by values we can control. He leans on blunt stories and practical shifts in perspective. Responsibility over blame, growth over perfection, truth over comfort. This isn't a pep talk where you trick yourself into constant positivity. It's a call to choose your struggles on purpose and to find meaning in the dues you're willing to pay. If you felt stretched thin by endless choices and an always-on world, this book offers a calmer way to stand your ground. The core idea is simple and demanding. Freedom isn't caring about nothing. It's caring deeply about a few things you can control and live with. Choose values that hold up under pressure. Own your choices when no one is clapping. Say no to most of life so you can say a full-bodied yes to what matters. Caring less, better, shrinks the noise and expands your integrity. It trades the sugar rush of approval for the steady calories of responsibility. It asks you to measure days by honesty, effort, and courage, not by likes, trophies, or perfect vibes. Picture your attention like a small garden behind a fence. If you leave the gate open and let every goat wander in, you'll be left with dust. Manson points to the trap of chasing constant positivity and status, a treadmill where winning once only resets the speed. Instead of avoiding problems, choose better ones. Happiness isn't the absence of problems, it's the willingness to work on meaningful ones. Ask which struggles you would choose again tomorrow, even without credit for them. Long practice, patient love, late-night study, and caring for your body, those are worthy struggles. There's freedom in refusing bad measurements. If your good day depends on hearts and follows, you've surrendered your mood to the wind. If your measure of love is never fighting, you'll avoid honesty and call it harmony. Pick values that are difficult and controllable. Tell the truth even when it stings. Take responsibility when blame would be easier. Respect others' boundaries and defend your own. When your scoreboard lives inside your actions, you're harder to shake. You know that knot in your stomach when something goes wrong? A plan falls apart, a friend lets you down. The book draws a line between fault and responsibility. Fault is about the past. Responsibility is about the next move. Someone spills coffee on your shirt. That wasn't your fault. It's your responsibility to decide whether you explode, wear the stain, or change and move on. Responsibility is power in disguise. It hands you the pen for the next sentence. Another trap is entitlement, the belief that you are owed a special life. It sounds supportive, but it's a velvet cage. If you're extraordinary by default, then struggle is an insult, and feedback is an attack. The relief is in normalcy. You are average at most things, and that's permission. Stop performing and start practicing. Ordinary is not the opposite of meaningful. Ordinary is where meaning grows. So how do you begin when motivation is flat and the couch is hugging you like a cloud? Do something, then use the momentum. Action creates motivation. One small move sparks progress, which fuels more action. You don't need a life overhaul. Wash one dish. Send one honest message. Read 3 pages. Once you're in motion, the next step is easier. Boundaries are where caring wisely becomes visible. You can love people without sacrificing your integrity. Saying no isn't cruelty. It's respect for your finite energy. In close relationships, 2 whole people are responsible for their own emotions and choices. If you carry someone else's feelings like a backpack, you erase their chance to grow, and you bury your own. Boundaries sound like, I can see you're upset, and I'm here, and also, I won't be spoken to that way. Underneath it all is a simple truth. You and I could be wrong about a lot. Certainty is comforting, but brittle. Admitting you might be wrong isn't weakness. It's the doorway to learning. Try saying it out loud in a quiet room. I might be wrong. That sentence invites curiosity and helps you redraw your map when the territory changes. The book also refuses to look away from the heaviest truth. Life is temporary. Our time is limited. Remembering this doesn't make life bleak. It makes your choices urgent in the best way. When you picture the end, you see more clearly what belongs in the middle. The smell of rain on hot pavement, the bark of a tree under your palm, a friend's laugh echoing in a stairwell, the quiet satisfaction of keeping your word when nobody was watching. Here's a small scene. A woman sits in her car outside the gym, breath fogging the windshield. The seat is warm. The air outside is sharp. She hears the old story that she always quits and opens the door anyway. The floor smells like disinfectant and metal. The music is too loud. She sets a timer for 10 minutes. 10 becomes 15. She leaves without a personal record, but with something better. Evidence that she does what she says when it isn't glorious. And one more. You at your desk tomorrow morning. The inbox is a forest of red dots. You pick the hardest email, the one that could change your week. You write short, clear sentences, ask the question you've been avoiding, and hit send. The world does not explode. You have measured your day by courage, not applause. Caring less, better, begins with subtraction. Remove the performative yes. Remove the fantasy that pain can be avoided with enough hustle. Remove the belief that other people's approval is oxygen. What remains is solid. Your word, your choices, your willingness to carry responsibility for your slice of the world. A little garden with a real fence. Fewer goats, more tomatoes. This doesn't mean becoming harsh or cynical. It means investing in things that survive contact with reality, honesty instead of image, growth instead of perfection. love that tells the truth, work that matters to someone, even if that someone is mostly you. Stop asking, what would make me feel good now? And ask, what pain am I willing to endure for a life I respect? That question is a compass. It points to practice over prize, the walk over the pose. Context matters. The book arrived in a wave of self-help that often treats discomfort as a bug to be eliminated. Manson says discomfort is a feature of a meaningful life. Not all suffering is noble, but some is necessary, like friction under a match. Without it, there's no flame. When the culture chases endless positivity, it becomes fragile. When a person chases endless positivity, they become anxious. The cure is not to glorify misery, but to accept that struggle is the price of admission for anything worth doing, and to choose your struggles wisely. To apply this today, start with a list you don't write down. 2 or 3 things you care about deeply: your partner's trust, your craft, your health. Offer one clean no. Put your phone in another room for the first hour and do the ugliest task first. When you slip, and you will, trade guilt for responsibility. No drama, return to the work. Keep your values measurable and within your control. Keep the actions small and repeatable. Keep your heart open and your fence intact. When the dust settles, the promise of the subtle art of not giving a f is surprisingly gentle. A good life isn't built by maximizing comfort or chasing constant highs. It's built by choosing what to care about, taking responsibility for your choices, and accepting the limits that make those choices meaningful. Measure your days by honesty, effort, and courage. Choose better problems instead of fantasizing about problem-free living. Set boundaries so you can love without losing yourself. Admit you might be wrong so you can learn faster. And remember, painfully and beautifully, that time is short. Let that sharpen your focus rather than shatter your peace. You don't have to become a different person overnight. Start small. Do something. Then do it again. Caring less, better, is not a rebellion against life. It's a return to it. It's the calm of closing the extra tabs, opening a window, and hearing the steadier sounds that were there all along. Your own breath, your own word kept, your own feet on the floor at the time you said they'd be there. If this spoke to you, take one step before the day ends. Send the message you've been postponing. Apologize where you need to. Delete the app that steals your mornings. Put your shoes by the door tonight. When tomorrow comes, move your feet. If this video helped you breathe a little easier, share it with someone who's trying to care about everything and drowning. Subscribe for more truthful, kind, no-fluff guides to building a calmer, braver life. And tell me in the comments which struggle you're choosing this week, so we can cheer for the courage that doesn't trend, but changes everything.